Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to tackle the 2024 lineup from Yamaha. There's not a lot of changes this year. Most of their bikes look the same, have the same specs. They have a couple bikes on their website that they list as new, but it's the same model. They just have some upgrades to them, some changes. So really not a lot. I didn't see much of anything in terms of actual model changes. There's one, I think, in there, and we'll get to that. But let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the trail bikes and the youth bikes. We start with the PW50. This is a 49cc two-stroke shaft-driven automatic transmission bike, 18.7-inch seat height, 3.7-inch ground clearance, half-gallon tank, weighs 90 pounds for $18.50. And then to the regular trail bikes, we have the TTR50E, which is also 49cc. This is a four-stroke bike, 3-speed, 21.9-inch seat height, 5.3-inch ground clearance, 0.8 gallon tank, 130 pounds, $1,900. All the bikes, unless I say differently, are chain driven. The TTR110E is a 110cc four-stroke, 4-speed, 26.4-inch seat height, 7.1-inch ground clearance, 1 gallon tank, 160 pounds, $2,450. These are up 150 from last year. The 250cc's look like they're the same price as last year. The TTR125LE is a 124cc four-stroke, 5-speed, 31.7-inch seat height, 11.6-inch ground clearance, 1.6 gallon tank, 200 pounds for $3,600. I guess it's the same price as last year as well. The TTR230 is a 233cc four-stroke, 6-speed now, 34.3-inch seat height, 11.6-inch ground clearance, 2.1 gallon tank, 250 pounds, $4,700. These are up 200 from last year. We move on to the motocross. We start with the youth with the YZ65, a 65cc two-stroke, 6-speed, 29.7-inch seat height, 10.4-inch ground clearance, 0.9 gallon tank, 135 pounds, $4,900. This is up $100 from last year. The YZ85 is an 85cc two-stroke, 6-speed, 33.1-inch seat, 12.6-inch ground clearance, 1.3 gallon tank, 160 pounds, $5,000, up $100 from 2023. The YZ85LW option is the same specs except it's slightly higher, 34.8-inch seat height and 14.2-inch ground clearance. This is $5,200, also up $100 from last year. The YZ125 is a 125cc two-stroke. These have all been two-stroke, 6-speed, 38.6-inch seat, 14.4-inch ground clearance, 1.8 gallon tank, 210 pounds, $7,100, up $100 from last year. Apparently it is Motocross's 50th anniversary in 2024 because we have the YZ125 50th anniversary. This replaces the Monster Energy edition from last year. This is $7,300, up $100 from the Monster Energy edition paint scheme from last year. All the same specs as the YZ125. The YZ250 is a 249cc two-stroke, 5-speed, 38.4-inch seat height, 14.2-inch ground clearance, 1.8 gallon tank, 227 pounds, $8,000. This is up $100 from last year. The 50th anniversary edition of the 250 also replaces the Monster Energy edition, $8,200, up $100 from last year. The YZ250F is a 250cc. Now we have a four-stroke, 5-speed, 38.2-inch seat height instead of the 38.4, 13.8-inch ground clearance instead of the 14.2, and down to a 1.6 gallon tank, 230 pounds, $8,900. This is up $300 from last year. And then there's the 50th anniversary, also replaces the Monster Energy edition, $9,100, also up $300 from last year. We move up to the YZ450F, which is the last of the motocross bikes. We have a 450cc, 4-stroke, 5-speed, 38-inch seat height, 13.8-inch ground clearance, 1.6 gallon tank, so it's basically the same as a 250 except with a bigger engine, 240 pounds, $10,000, up $100 from last year. And the 50th anniversary edition, again replacing the Monster Energy edition, $10,200, also up $100. So they're all up $100 except for the 250F, which is up $300. All right, we move to the dual sport. We start with the TW200, only two models here. TW200 is a 196cc 4-stroke 5-speed, 31.1-inch seat height, 10.4-inch ground clearance, 1.8 gallon tank, 280 pounds, $5,000, up $100 from 2023. And the XT250, which is a 249cc 4-stroke 5-speed, 32.7-inch seat height, 11.2-inch ground clearance, 2.5 gallon tank, 290 pounds weight, $5,400, up $100 from last year. I did forget to mention at the beginning, all the weights are wet weight with a full tank of gas, just so you're aware of that. We move on to the cross-country bikes. We have a YZ125X, the 125cc 2-stroke, 6-speed, 38.2-inch seat height, 14-inch ground clearance, 1.8 gallon tank, 212 pounds, $7,200. Guess it's the same price as last year. The YZ250X is the 249cc 2-stroke 5-speed, 38.4-inch seat height, 14.2-inch ground clearance, 1.8 gallon tank, 230 pounds, $8,100. Again, same price. The YZ250FX, 250cc 4-stroke now, 6-speed, 37.6-inch seat height, 12.6-inch ground clearance, 2.2 gallon tank, 245 pounds, $9,000. These are up $100 from last year. And the 450FX is the 450cc 4-stroke, same seat height, 13-inch ground clearance, so it's almost a half-inch higher off the ground. 2.1 gallon tank, 250 pounds, $10,200. This is up $200 from last year. We move over to the Enduro models. Only two models here as well. We have the Enduro WR250F. It's a 250cc 4-stroke 6-speed engine, 37.6-inch seat height, 12.6-inch ground clearance, 2.1 gallon tank, 255 pounds, $9,000. This is up $100 from last year. And then the WR450F, 450cc 4-stroke 5-speed, 37.6-inch seat height, so the same seat height, 13-inch ground clearance, slightly higher, 2 gallon tank, 258 pounds, $10,200. This is up $200 from last year. All right, we're going to move over to the primarily on-road street bikes. That's it for the off-road focused bikes. We move to the scooter bikes. We have a Zuma 125. This is a 125cc 4-stroke single-cylinder automatic, 30.9-inch seat height, 1.6 gallon tank, 282 pounds, 100 miles per gallon on this puppy, $3,800, same price as last year. And the older brother to the Zuma is the X-Max, 292cc 4-stroke automatic, 31.3-inch seat height, 3.4 gallon tank, 400 pounds, 76 miles per gallon, $6,200, up $100 from 2023. We move over to the Hyper Naked bikes. The ever popular MT series. This is the MT-03 we start with, 321cc parallel twin, 6-speed, 30.7-inch seat height, 3.7 gallon tank, 375 pounds, wet weight, $5,000, same as 2023 with two color options. We move over to the MT-07, 689cc parallel twin, 6-speed. You could also call it an inline twin. It's the same thing. 31.7-inch seat height, 3.7 gallon tank, 405 pounds, $8,200, same as 2023 as far as price. Three colors on this. The MT-09 is the 890cc parallel triple. Now we have a 3-cylinder, 6-speed, 32.5-inch seat height, 3.7 gallon tank, 425 pounds, $10,600. This one is up a whopping $800 from last year. And then the MT-09 Special, the SP, same specs as the MT-09. It's got upgraded suspension, brakes, paint scheme. It's like 3 pounds more, $12,300. This is also up $800 from last year. Big price jump on the MT-09s. MT-10, 998 CP4 cross-plane 4 engine, so inline 4, This is a engine that comes from the R1 Super Sports bike, so definitely lots of power on that thing. 32.9-inch seat height, 4.5 gallon tank, 470 pounds, 14,500. This is up $300 from 2023. And then the MT10 Special, the SP, has all the same specs. Again, upgraded suspension, paint scheme, brakes. This is a whopping $17,000. This is actually down $200 from 2023. That's probably the first bike I've seen out of all the manufacturers that I've done so far where a price went down this year. All right, we're going to move over to the adventure touring. We're going to start with the also popular Tenere 700. This is a 689cc parallel twin, 6-speed, 34.4-inch seat height, 4.2 gallon tank, 450 pounds, 10,800. This one is up $300. The Super Tenere ES, basically they call it a 1200. It's 1199cc. Again, a parallel twin, 6-speed. I'm not sure if it's an adjustable seat or two different seat options, but there's 33.3 to 34.3 inch seat, 6.1 gallon tank, 585 pounds. This is a shaft driven bike, interestingly enough. 16,300. This is the same price as 2023. Sport touring is the next category. We have the Tracer 9 GT Plus. This is the one model that actually has a slightly different name. Not really. I mean, last year it was the Tracer 9 GT. This is now the Tracer 9 GT Plus. They're calling it a new bike. This has the 890 inline triple, 6-speed, 32.3 to 32.9 inch seat options, 5 gallon tank, 492 pounds. This one is 16,500. And then the other one is the FJR 1300 ES. This is a 1300 1298cc inline 4, 6-speed, 31.7 to 32.5 inch seat options, 6.6 gallon tank, 645 pounds, shaft driven like the Super Tenere ES, 18,300. This is the same price as 2023. We're going to move over to the Super Sport bikes, which are the YZF bikes. We start with the R3. The YZF R3 has a 321cc parallel twin, 6-speed, 30.7 inch seat, 3.7 gallon tank, 375 pounds. This is $5,500. Same price as last year. Last year they had the World GP 60th Anniversary Edition. Obviously it's not the 60th anniversary anymore, so that's gone. There are no other editions or special editions for the Super Sport bikes. The R7 has a 689cc parallel twin. Again, 6-speed, of course, 32.9 inch seat height, 3.4 gallon tank, a slightly smaller tank, 415 pounds, $9,200. This is the same as 2023 as well. Again, no World GP 60th anniversary. The R1 has the 998 CP4 crossplane inline 4 6-speed, 33.7 inch seat height, 4.5 gallon tank, 450 pounds, 18,400. This one is up $300 from last year. And then the R1M, which has the same basic specs as far as what we're talking about as the R1. Lots of special features on it. Carbon fiber. This is 27,400. This one is up $400 from 2023. We're going to move over to our last category, which is the Sport Heritage bikes. We start with the starter cruiser, which is the V-Star 250. You're going to see these kind of bikes at like MSF training courses, stuff like that. Real low-end stuff. 249cc V-twin, 5-speed, 27-inch seat, 2.5 gallon tank, 325 pounds, $4,700. This is the same price as 2023. The other cruiser they have is the Boltar Spec. This has a 942cc V-twin, 5-speed engine again, 27.2 inch seat height, 3.4 gallon tank, 542 pounds, belt driven, $8,900, same price as 2023. This is kind of a competitor for like your Scout 60, your Harley Sportster Evos, but obviously there is no Sportster Evo anymore. The Boltar Spec could be considered a competitor as well to the Kawasaki Vulcan 900. as far as specs goes, but the Bolt-R spec is a bit more basic, slimmed down, and a little bit less expensive than the Kawasaki. Alright, the next up is the, I guess they call it a modern classic or something, I don't know, retro, whatever you want to call it. This is the XSR 700, 689cc, parallel twin, 6-speed, 32.9 inch seat height, 3.7 gallon tank, 410 pounds, 8,900 bucks, same as 2023. And the last model for the Yamaha bikes is the XSR 900 with an 890cc. This is the CP3 cross plane triple, 6-speed, 31.9 inch seat height, 3.7 gallon tank, 425 pounds, 10,300. This is up 100 bucks from 2023. So that is it for the Yamaha bikes as far as what they're offering. Again, not a lot of changes. Their price increases are very, very reasonable. I think they're probably the best I've seen so far as percentages of how much the bikes are going up. So really a good choice as far as if you like their options. Their prices are very good. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for being here. Would appreciate it if you would subscribe. It really helps me a lot as I take the time to do these videos. We're going to be continuing on with the 2024 lineup series. We have Honda and Suzuki left as far as the Japanese Big Four, and then we also are going to tackle all the others: BMW, Triumph, Royal Enfield, Ducati, and a bunch of others. So stay tuned, keep watching. Thanks for being here. Take care.